judge temporarily blocks the Trump administration's freeze on federal grants and loans. The judge's order came just minutes before the freeze was set to go into effect. Welcome into WKYT News at 6. I'm Amber Philpott.
And I'm Kelsey Soto in for Bill tonight. That freeze caused a lot of concern and confusion about what it means for Americans. In a memo from the Office of Management and Budget last night, it ordered all federal agencies to assess their programs and activities to ensure that they comply with President Trump's recent executive orders, directing assistance be temporarily frozen.
Well, this is a developing situation, again, with that temporary block of the freeze, which follows a request by advocacy groups and nonprofits.
Our Jessica Umbro broke that change live on air during our 5 o'clock news. She's joining us now live in Lexington outside the Government Center. Jessica, what can you tell us about this very fast changing situation?
Well, right as that federal funding freeze was set to take effect just over an hour ago, a federal judge blocked it until Monday. With that new date falling just under a week away, there still is a lot that's unknown about the impact that it could have nationwide. I did speak with a local recovery center earlier today about how they're already planning to respond.
Any freeze, pause, cancellation on federal funding could affect us after the fact.
Jimmy Chadwell, program director with Voices of Hope in Lexington, says they found out about the national funding freeze like millions of others on the national news this morning.
We don't really know any more than anyone does. We're waiting on word further to see what's going to happen.
Voices of Hope isn't alone. The National Science Foundation abruptly canceled its grant review panels for this week. In 2023, it awarded more than $27 million in grants in Kentucky. The biggest chunk, $16 million for the University of Kentucky.
Federal agencies are themselves just trying to get their arms around it, so it's unclear about the extent to which this federal funding stoppage will occur.
As information continued to evolve throughout the day, the Kentucky Center for Economic Policy also kept a watchful eye.
There are real people working at federal agencies who are looking through this and trying to understand what the implications are.
Chadwell says Voices of Hope is trying to determine the impact on their brick and mortar location, their mobile assistance unit, their educational efforts on naloxone and other life-saving measures, as well as with their 80-person staff.
We're open 7 days a week, so if that's not open anymore, that's 7 days a week that people can't get recovery services.
It is worth noting that despite Medicaid and Head Start being programs that are supposedly not a part of this freeze, there were reports nationwide that those sites were inaccessible. That is a situation that's ongoing. And earlier today, I did reach out to Governor Andy Beshear's office about his comment on all of this. He did say he is concerned about the legality of a freeze like this, and he's worried about potential impacts on everyday Kentucky families. Live in Lexington, Jessica Umbro, WKYT.